Today's speech is on a female called Ida. She Today's speech is on a eulogy based on a fictional character. The fictional character which I chose is a female called Ida. She plays the role as my fictional grandmother. Good afternoon, everyone. We are gathered here today on this very sad occasion to remember someone who most of us in this room have loved or had the opportunity to be loved by her. She was a mentor, a friend, a perfect example of what love looks like. Ida. Oh, my sweet Ida. So today, I want to share some of the fondest memories with you all about her and some of her attributions during her lifetime, which has impacted us. From the time I have come around, Ida was there. Ida was a caretaker. I am sure everyone can agree that she was the perfect example of unconditional love. Ida, born to Sylvia May and Alfred Whitaker in the late 1930s, grew up in the South, where oppression, social division, and racism were quite prominent. As a result of these things, Ida grew up in a very humble background. Her dad was a baker, a farmer, and her mother a seamstress. Ida and her 5 other siblings shared a room when she grew up, and she often had to sleep on the mattress on the ground so that her siblings, Balna and Desmond, who are here today, could sleep on the bed. Her childhood was not easy. However, I like to think of her as the child of the flower who grew from concrete. She was literally that. Ida excelled through school and worked hard, right through from elementary to high school, and attained a scholarship to attend the St. George's University to study in the field of medicine in Grenada. It was there where she met her husband to be Vernon, a Barbadian, and dental student there at that time. This union produced 2 beautiful daughters, Kenya and Kimberly. Ida was what can be described as a do-it-herself woman. She was a do-it-yourself kind of person, actually. She did not wait on persons to do things for her, or expect things to be simply handed to her. No, this was not what she did or what she stood for. She went after her goals. My grandmother did the most she could always, and looked out for everyone she loved, family or otherwise. When there were hurricanes, she often stayed at the hospital and would run through the rain to help lift mothers who were about to have their babies safely inside of the hospital. She was an activist and fought tremendously hard to fight for children's and women's rights. Too much is given, much is expected, and Ida surely lived from this great quote. The most astonishing thing in which I would say that Ida has ever done was to cut her career short in order to raise me. When my mother died in childbirth, Ida came to my rescue. She dropped everything, her career, her organizations, and put everything aside to come to my rescue. Ida was an angel, and I could not be the man I am today without her. In her last days, when I realized that the Parkinson's disease, which she was slowly battling, had beginning to take complete control over her life, there was no doubt that I myself had to drop everything to come to be by her side. It pains me greatly to know that this woman is no longer here. and it pains me to know that all the good things in which she stood for would one day be forgotten. However, I can find comfort and solace in the nodding heads of approval as I read this eulogy. Ida was a gem. She really was, and will forever live on in my heart. I would like to close this by saying this quote: "Let us not cry because her life is over, but let us smile because she has lived." Let us today all give thanks for being able to live to know such an extraordinary woman. I thank you all for listening.